Hi folks, we're back at Legends Restaurants with another one of our secrets here at Legends. What I want to talk to you about today, I'm going to demonstrate our bourbon-glazed salmon. Now we make our bourbon glaze from scratch, and so we start off with we got a little fresh garlic, fresh onion sauteing right here. And then in another saucepan, I take brown sugar, a lot of brown sugar. 2 cups. I use Dole pineapple juice. Add that to my brown sugar. Of course, I've got my fresh garlic and onions. You won't dice them. We dice them real fine. You want that to kind of go away in that sauce. Next thing I do is I add fresh pineapple. And just a touch of cayenne pepper. Just a little, about a half a teaspoon is what I put in there. Just a touch, give it a little bite. Now I'm sauteing this off in olive oil, kind of golden brown, about like that right there. Now while that's resting, I'm going to get my salmon going. And this is something you can do at home. Grill your salmon out on your grill. Put that fresh salmon on there and let that be grilling. Now I come back to my sauce. As you can see, this sauce right here, take a look at this sauce right here. I'll add my onions and garlic. My brown sugar is really starting to come to a boil now. I'm saving the main ingredient for the last, and that would be the bourbon. I'm going to let that come to a real good boil. This is the main ingredient. Now we use, our bourbon that we use is made right here in Tennessee, in the hills of Tennessee. Now I'm not going to tell you what that is, but I'll let you guess what that is. Now if you can see my sauce, now my sauce it's really come to a hard boil. When it comes to a hard boil, I'm going to turn that down just a little bit and let that simmer. Then I'm going to add the main ingredient. Woo-wee. All right, we'll let that set now, let that simmer. And what I'm going to do with this, this right here will thicken up when I let it chill. So I'm going to let that chill and let this thicken up, and then I'll be ready to glaze my salmon with. In our restaurants, you can get the salmon medium rare, medium, or medium well or well done. You can order it to temperature. This salmon here is about a medium well. And what we do on our bourbon glazed salmon is that our sauce has to be thick, more like a gravy. Because what we're going to do, we're going to put that on the salmon, and we're going to put it up in our cheese melt just for a few minutes, and we're going to let that caramelize. We're going to let it caramelize on your salmon. So you take your salmon. Now if you're at home doing this, you would grill your salmon, you bring it in, you have your oven on. I know a lot of people will just brush it on and just serve it just like that, but that's not the way you want to serve this salmon. What you want to do on this salmon is take your glaze and put on your salmon just like this. Kind of let it roll over the top here. And then put that in your oven. Now we're going to put it in our cheese melt, and we're going to let that caramelize right there in the cheese melt. And then it'll be ready to serve. So when you come in the restaurant and you order our salmon, bourbon glazed salmon, you're going to get a grilled piece of salmon, and we're going to actually put the sauce on the salmon and caramelize it in our cheese melt. And we'll let that caramelize for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. Just enough that, it gets that kind of, to caramelize anything, it's like candy. It gets that kind of gooey texture to it. But that's your brown sugar in there that's actually caramelizing. So let that caramelize for a few minutes, and I'll show you what that looks like, and it'll be ready to eat. Now, we let this caramelize for 2 to 3 minutes and the cheese melt. And that plate's still a little bit warm, but I'll show you what that salmon looks like. You can see it kind of got that bubbly look to it. When you see that, it's ready to go, just like that right there. And this salmon, I love salmon. I used to not like salmon, then I've got to eating our salmon, and I really like the salmon.